What's up? The world champion gukesh is not having his best tournament in Norway, and in the 7th round he drew against wesleyso, but at least he have the opportunity in the armageddon to take an extra half point. So let's see the game. Okay, gukesh open with c4, c5 by wesleyso. Of course, wesleyso is a very solid player against. Okay, wesleyso is a very solid player against everything, but especially against c4, he have the Berlin defense, so that's a good idea by gukesh to keep the position more unbalanced with the English opening. It's a top opening for play to win because you maintain many pawns and many pieces over the board. c5 by wesleyso, g3, g6, and now gukesh play bishop g2, knight c6, knight c3, bishop g7. That's the symmetrical English, one of the main positions of the English opening. Here we have many plans. One is, for example, a3 followed by rook b1 and b4. The same thing but with rook b1. Knight f3 is one of the main moves too. e4 is another main move. But here gukesh select e3 for this game. Maybe it's not the best move for play to win, because here black have the idea of play e6 and knight e7, d5, making the same as white, reaching a more or less symmetrical position. But okay, for a rapid game everything is... you can win every position, of course. So e3 by gukesh. And here I say that the main move is e6, trying to reach a symmetrical position and copying everything that white makes. For example, if white now goes with 92, 97, d4, we can take and d5, trying to equalize, making the same move as white. For example, take, now we take with the knight. Okay, this position is more or less equal, of course. And if white take with the knight, we're going to make the same. And here I prefer knight d5, and this is equal. But wesleyso make a different plan, which stop the d4 breakthrough, but giving a hole on d4, on d5. Sorry, it's an interesting idea. I'm not going to say that it's good or bad. It's interesting because okay, you are sacrificing one thing for other one. White wants to break with d4, so we stop d4. At the same time that we are giving a hole on d5, of course, which positionally not good. But okay, we are stopping d4. That's the idea. 92, 97, d3 by gukesh, d6 by wesleyso, a3. Now white with a3 wants to play rook b1 followed by b4. Okay, you say we stop the d4 breakthrough, so now I want to break on b4. But wesleyso make the same. He say, okay, I'm going to give you a hole on b5, but you are not going to break. Let's see that white two breakthroughs in the position are completely blockaded. But and white, you can say that black have more space in the position, but the holes on d5 and on b5 are important. Of course, wesleyso know that the holes are not good, but he have his reasons to make a5 and e5 because he's stopping the breakthroughs. Okay, rook b1 by gukesh, typical move. The rook is but placed on the same diagonal of the bishop, so rook b1 is a typical move in this position. Maybe one day he can break b4. And here Wesley both players go so castle, and wesleyso make the same, leaving the diagonal of this bishop, and maybe one day he wants to break b5. And here gukesh play bishop d2, which is a normal move. Knight d5 was interesting too. And if bishop d7 now take and came with the other knight to d5, but maybe this was the correct moment to break with, to play knight d5, because after bishop d4, bishop f5, attacking d3, good move, queen c2, queen d7. Now wesleyso is placing perfect his pieces, and he reached a equal position. Here white played knight d5, which is not my favorite move, allowing b5. I don't really like to allow b5. The machine still saying equal, but I think that this benefits black a little bit. So other moves to keep the equal, but in a better way, in my opinion, was, for example, b3, or just develop the rook. By the way, the position is more or less balanced because white have no breakthroughs and black have a solid position. He have a space, the breakthroughs are controlled, and black is fine. But knight d5 is, I don't like this move because allows b5 and this rook get active, and while loses this pawn, the b5 hole is never more a hole. So I don't like knight d5. I remember watching this game on live that gukesh start to think after b5. He take on b5, rook b5, knight e c3, and now he return with the rook c1, rook fc8, bishop e4. Now very good move of wesleyso, keeping the light square bishop. Black have all the pawns in dark square, so it's important to keep the light square bishop, and especially to defend the d5 hole. And bishop takes e4 could be responded against with d takes e4, and let's see this very bad bishop. So bishop e6, great move by Wesley. Queen a4, king f8, great move, improving the position a little bit. Now if black takes here, we can just recapture with the queen, maybe with the king, sorry. Here now here recapture with the knight, giving the a5 pawn. But wait, the a5 pawn, you can take the pawn, but the queen is going to have troubles on a5. You guys decided to take, because if not, black is completely fine. So at least take the pawn, and if black is going to be completely fine, at least you have a pawn, instead of be completely worse and for nothing. So knight queen takes a5, very good move in the practice. And here wesleyso doesn't understand the position. I think that he could make the draw, the necessary draw to win the Armageddon. I don't know if more or less easy, but for example, bishop b3 was a very strong move. Because okay, the queen is on a5, but he wants to return to a life from with queen a4 and return to d1 or to c2. That's why I really like bishop b3. Added to that, we are pushing d5 with the bishop outside the chain. This bishop is stopping the b2 and the a3, the b2 pawn especially, so I really like this move. But the principal idea is cover the a4 square. So I really like bishop b3. For example, bishop e1, d5. And now king g8 returning, because the king has made his job on f8. And now bishop f8, knight c6 is coming, and the white queens have huge problems to don't lose the queen. d5 was the other normal move. I was thinking about d5 when I was in the game. Was the most natural move. Bishop g2, rook a8. This could be a possibility, and again the white queen is still having problems, because if queen here, d4. So d5 was interesting. wesleyso playing knight c6. Okay, his idea is just blockade this diagonal to can play rook a8, but this is not my favorite move, because after queen a6, d5, bishop d2, now black have some troubles to take the queen, because now the huge problem of knight c6 is that the c5 pawn is going to be is hanging. That's the huge problem of knight c6. That's why I didn't like the move. So rook a8, queen b5 by gukesh. And now wesleyso fail again. He should play king g8, just leaving the check. And for example, if queen takes rook a5, knight b5, knight a7, attacking the queen. Okay, this position is very interesting, because black have an extra piece for these two pawns, but these two pawns are very fast and are going to gain with tempos. The knight is a seat, this pawn is under attack, so this position is balanced. But of course, king g8 was the best option for wesleyso, because after rook ab8, his second mistake after wesleyso just lost the game with two moves. First, until here wesleyso was playing a perfect game, but his mistake of knight c6 and later rook b8, giving the c5 pawn with check. Now after knight d7, queen a5. Now the queen, for example, is coming with queen a4 and queen d1, and I have two extra pawns. Okay, because let's see that this is the same position as if black plays here d5 and bishop g2. That's more or less the same position here, but without the pawn on c5. Sorry, where is here? That's the same position, but with the pawn on c5, without the pawn on c5. So wesleyso just lost a pawn for free. So now he managed to save the queen, and after the queen is saved, now I have two extra pawns, and the position is completely winning. So let's see the end of the game. But okay, the rest was very easy for gukesh with two extra pawns. So okay, very interesting game of gukesh, and I really like this idea of blockade the breakthroughs with d4 and with b4, making e5 and later a5, giving white some holes on d5 and on b5, but having the breakthroughs under control. So okay, finally gukesh managed to win, just grabbing two pawn, and wesleyso doesn't manage to find counterplay and he cannot trap the queen. So okay, good victory by gukesh, who was still being in a bad position in the tournament. And okay, at least he won the Armageddon. Just left 3 rounds to end the tournament, so let's see what happened. Bye bye.